Righto lads, part number 12 of the career here in Singapore. Just having a look at the performance index. We can see there we're kind of plateauing a bit. We're a fair way off the top 4 teams. Just looking to next season, adapting our parts, that kind of thing. Other teams clearly still upgrading. As you can see here, we get some upgrades on, which is good to see. And there was actually a bit of weather in this one for a sprint, as you're about to see, as we flick over into sprint qualifying.
Welcome to the all-action sprint qualifying. We are setting the grid for the sprint race tomorrow. It is going to be a really intense session, and it starts right now.
As you can see lads, bit of weather here for SQ3 and the sprint race itself as we head out on track for our first lap of SQ1 on the mediums. Pretty tidy lap, nothing, actually to be honest I did kind of struggle a bit around this track. Usually it is one of my favourites, as you can see there. We're at 10th off Lindblad, we are down in P21, only ahead of Lance Stroll. I was kind of struggling a bit for pace, didn't really feel that great, so yeah, this one might be another little reality check here, even though we've had quite a good season. So we end up finishing SQ1, improving by, I think it was about 4/10 there, and it's just not enough. We're P17. You can see here, Behrman, Perez, our teammate Gasly, Hulkenberg, and of course, Lance Stroll joining us out in Q1. That is quite disappointing. Still about a 10th and a half away. Very, very disappointing.
It is wet here today, and we're expecting the downpours to continue. This will make a difficult sprint for all the teams. Let's go into greater detail then for the circuit. Set by Marina Bay, there are 19 turns, 12 to the left, 7 to the right. It is tough to overtake around here. There are walls everywhere you look, the humidity is high, and the whole length of the circuit is 306 miles. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's sprint. Lando Norris will lead us away from pole position, and it's Charles Leclerc in P2. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Antonelli, George Russell, and Piastri, Hamilton, Hadjar, Sainz, and Alex Albon, Alonso, Lawson, Gabriel Bortoleto, and Ocon, Lindblad, Bottas, O'Reilly, and Ollie Behrman, Perez, Gasly, Hulkenberg, and Lance Stroll brings the grid to a close. Which of these drivers will get pole position today? We will soon find out. Hello everyone, welcome to the commentary box. I'm Alex Shakes, and we say hello to Naomi Schiff. So, a sprint race today, and that means lights to flag, no stops. And how is that going to affect the driver behind the wheel? Well, they say you're only as good as your last race. And on evidence there, that was very good indeed. How do they carry that form through to today?
Well, they're certainly in a great position. It's always great to just come off of a win. The momentum's there, the team are working well together, and so is the car. So what they've got to do is just keep building on that. Don't change a winning formula. Keep it simple.
And the lights are out here in Singapore for the sprint race on the Inters. That weather that I was talking about just before. We had a decent-ish start. Most of the cars going to the inside there. We're going to try and sneak around the outside of Lindblad up into P15. Can we get it done? Oh, we actually make contact with Bortoleto, I think that is. The Audi. Yeah, we get a warning for that. And now can we get Ocon? Oh, almost 3 wide it looked like. As now we're right behind Lawson and Alonso. So we've made a great start, and we're already nearly on the fringes of the points. Obviously P8 be a tall order to get to P8, but you never know. This first lap, usually the AI aren't great. As we slide up the inside of Alonso And can we get Lawson here? We're going to get Lawson as well. So we're very quickly up to P11. The two Williams just ahead. Could we look at getting them? Possibly. Great start. Up 6 places on the first lap. Very, very happy with that. Can't complain. As now we move on to lap 5. And it looks like the two... Oh, we have a bit of a moment here. I was just going to say, it looks like the two Williams have kind of checked out. Wow. As we almost have a second gap to Lawson behind. So it looks like P11 will be the best as we see yellow flags behind. Or is that in front? Oh, it's Signs. Signs decked it into the wall. We're up to P10. Wonder what happened there. Let's have a look. And does he just lose it? He just loses it. Wow. Wow. Disappointing for Signs. He'll drop right to the back, it looks like. We are up into P10 as I said before. But again, Albon just too quick for us as we move on to lap 7 already. Pretty much just fighting to keep this P10. So, as you can see, they're already nearly a second to Lawson. We're kind of gaining a little bit on Albon there, so we might be a good chance here to possibly get Albon if we can keep going like this. As now we head down at the straight. Very good overtaking opportunity down here. And we're not even going to get to see it, we're not close enough. More yellows behind. I wonder what happened there. It looks like a white car. So it's either a Cadillac or a Haas. Let's have a look at the replay. And it looks like it's a Cadillac. Sergio Perez we're looking at here. Just behind his teammate Bottas. And oh, he just loses it in that corner. Just completely got sideways. And we see Pierre there struggling down in P18. Moved up a spot. Now we move on to lap 9. We see more yellows. And it looks like... Is that Albon? It's Albon just ahead. He's had a bit of a moment there, Albon. He's literally in the middle of... You know, I mean, he's kind of in no man's land. He's too far away from Hadjar. And he's quicker than us. So let's... Oh, he gets real sideways there. As he obviously will get away fine. Obviously disappointing. We should have moved up to P9. As we're going to cross the line now to start the final lap of the race. Not much went on really. As we see Lando Norris, the championship leader, increasing that gap once again to Charles Leclerc. He wins a sprint. And we're going to cross the line in P10. So we're going to hold off Lawson here, as he did get pretty close in the end. We see Albon driving away from us as well. That's not a bad result from P17.
Okay, pick up rubber and bring it home.
Alright, this is the result for the sprint. Norris picking up fastest lap as well. Another 8 points for him. Charles slides down the order from P2. Disappointing for him. Disappointing day for Carlos as well. Pierre moved up a couple of spots. Overall though, pretty boring race to be honest. Not much really happened. We were too far away from anyone. As we have a look at the standings now, we see Norris, that lead back out to 27. At one point it was like 45, and then pretty sure it got down to about 11 at one stage, and now he's just kind of finding that form again after a few shaky races, and Charles kind of bottling a bit after that good form. I think he won 4 of 6 races, so he has been on a roll, but Norris finding the form at the right time of the season. As we have a look, we're P8 currently, just behind Verstappen. Piastri's pulled away from us in terms of points. And now looking at the constructors, we see McLaren with an 11-point lead over Ferrari. And then another 17 points back to Ferrari is Mercedes. And then us just in this fight with Red Bull, only 3 points behind. So, should be an interesting battle for P4 in the constructors here. And also for the win. So, yeah, let's get straight into quali.
It is one of our great cinematic settings of the season. Welcome to Singapore. We're under the floodlights with the walls close and pole position up for grabs.
Here we go then. Back to regular quali. our first run of Q1 then, because Norris does a 128.6. Don't know if we'll be getting close to that. Oh, understeer there in the final corner. We do a 130.7. We're 2 seconds off the fastest time. We are in the mud. Currently P19. Really struggling for pace around Singapore. It's quite concerning as we start our final run in Q1. We're going to need a good lap. We're improving here about half a second. Can we get through here better than the last lap? We can, and we end up improving by almost 6/10. Is it going to be enough to get into Q2? Yes, it is. We sneak through in P15. So look then at the results. Gasly also making it through. Good to see. We're about a 10th and a half off him. So it's Hülkenberg, Bottas, Stroll, Lawson, Bortoleto, and Perez out in Q1. Not wasting any time, straight into Q2, and you can see we actually have a car behind us. I'm pretty sure it was a Williams, and it is. So this lap was another slow one on used tyres, I'm pretty sure they were, and we do a 130.8. We are so slow. By the time we come in, we are dead last, only just behind Lindblad. So we're a second off Gasly. Yeah, we've got some serious work to do here. So a final run. Here you can see, up by nearly a second. Is that going to be enough? I don't think so. Let's have a look though. 8.5 tenths, nearly 9 tenths. We get through that last quarter nicely. It's almost a second gained. Is it enough to get into Q3? No, it's P12. Disappointing. Really disappointing. Like I said, we've just really been struggling. Gasly just makes it through. We've been about a 10th and a half behind him all weekend. Very, very disappointing. It's P12. Ocon, Behrman, Hadjar, Alonso, and Arvid Lindblad eliminated along with myself. That is quite disappointing. Hopefully Pierre can make something happen in Q3. Let's have a look. Alright, well, my stupid self has unfortunately recorded this with my mic on, so you could hear the YouTube video that I was actually watching. No one wants to hear that. So I'm going to do my best Alex Jakes impression and going to do the intro here for the Singapore Grand Prix. As you can see, very nice looking track, usually one of my favourites. I kind of do like the older layout better a little bit, to be honest, even though this one's fine. As you can see, a staggering, what's that, like 5 corners in one as it goes from 17 to 23. I think that's a bug. Let's have a look at the starting grid for the Singapore Grand Prix then. It is Charles on pole. Oh, look at how close they are there. 200th. That is insane for the 2 championship protagonists. And following them is Russell and Verstappen. Verstappen always close behind them. We've got Antonelli, Hamilton, Piastri, Carlos Sainz, Alex Albon, Gasly unfortunately 10th. He was quite a way off Alex Albon. You got Ocon and myself. Behrman, Isaac Hadjar having a terrible year. His first season at Red Bull, followed by Alonso and Lindblad. And then you got Hülkenberg and Bottas. Lance Stroll, surprisingly P19. Liam Lawson, Gabriel Bortoleto, and last on the grid, Sergio Perez. Thankfully, we don't have to listen to Naomi Schiff waffle. As we're going to have a look here, you can see Charles has won 2 of his last 3 races. Like I've been mentioning, there's myself in P12. Hopefully we can move forward, we always do. So very optimistic. Hadjar, like I said, has had a terrible year in the Red Bull. Absolutely terrible. It's going to be really interesting to see what happens next season in the driver market. Liam Lawson down there in P20. Unfortunate for him, he's been doing well in real life. And now we're going to head over and look at the strategy. One stop for the first time, I think, this season. 16 laps. Oh, actually, it might not be, but it's very rare that you see it. So we're starting on the hards, going to the mediums as the 5 red lights are now out and again held for quite a while. Finally, we're in the dry. And hopefully we can have better pace in the race. And as we go to, oh my days, we've got to turn 1. Nearly go right at the back of Gasly. We're going to get past the 2 Williams, and they're going to just get back past us like it's nothing. And now we've got a battle with Ocon. We squeeze him out. We keep P10. So already up into the points. Very, very nice. Hopefully, oh, thought there's going to be contact there. I think that's, who is that up there? Actually, I think it's a Merc, is it? And a Ferrari? Might be. as you see the two Williams fighting, if I can talk. And oh, look at this battle, side by side. We're losing heaps of time already. Oh, I thought about a little send down there. I thought better of it. So you can see there as well, our engine light is on. So our ICE was at about 60 something %. So we need to chuck a new one in the car for the next race. As now, all my days were pretty much cutting the corner there. I don't know what happened there. And now we come up to the hairpin and look for her to move around the outside of Sainz. He always had that one covered though. So he keeps that place. We are still P10. Now as we move on then to lap 3, Albon has pulled away. We're going to send one on Sainz. Thankfully, he moves out of the way. Absolutely sent one on him. We're up into P9. Looking very good on these hards. Hopefully we can catch up to Albon now, as it looks like Sainz wants to come back at us. And now Gasly actually has entered this little fight here. So he had a pretty poor start, dropping down a couple of positions. As now we are right on the back of Alex Albon on lap 6. We've got about a second and a half gap to Sainz behind. As now we get the objective to overtake Albon. As we get on that curb all wrong, go out a little bit wide, but the FIA didn't see it. It doesn't matter. We're going to send another one up the inside of Alex Albon. So that is a good spot for overtaking for us anyway, because we just send it. And now can we catch up to the Mercedes of Kimi Antonelli? As we move on to lap 8 now, we're pretty much right on the gearbox almost. We're about half a second away. And are we going to send one? We are. We do an identical move on Antonelli. The same one we did on Alex Albon there, as again we turn in really early for that corner. I did that a couple of times during the race, quite annoying. I'm not sure why I did it, to be honest. As we move on to lap 12, already moving really quickly through this race, as Antonelli is going to have another look here, up the inside, as we hold that place. So keeping P7, this will be a decent result for us. This will be very decent. I really think already we can keep this, because the AI just don't really want to go past. So yeah, interesting. As now we get the objective there to stay ahead of Kimi. As again he's going to try on up the inside. We leave the space and again keep that position. And that was a common theme for the race. Already up to lap 14 now. As we start we're almost at the pits, I was going to say, sorry. As Antonelli had a look around the outside there, we see Albon back into this fight then. As Gasly up into P10, very, very good. He's pulled away from Sainz, and now we keep going. So Antonelli will be looking for a move at the end of this straight as he enables the wings, or the straight line mode. Sorry. And here we go. We're going to move just to the inside a little bit. Cover that move off, and yeah, comfortably done. We keep the spot for another lap. So we're going to be coming into the pits very soon, as you're about to see. But before we see that, we're going to see now coming down to that same corner again, up the inside, and we leave the room. So that's pretty much their only attempt, really. And yeah, they're not really forcing their way through. So as we see some yellow flags behind, I think. Yes, it is behind. It looks like an Aston Martin. I actually got no idea what happened there. It's Carlos Sainz just loses it again. What a terrible weekend for Carlos. Terrible weekend. As now we come to the end of lap 16, and we are going to send it into the pit lane. Unfortunately, failing the objective, slowing down for the pits, which sucks. But it doesn't really matter anyway, as we are now into the pit lane. Hopefully the lads can give us a good stop. Albon following us in. But yeah, like I was saying, a terrible weekend for Carlos Sainz. Spitting in the sprint, spitting in the main race after qualifying up in the top 10. Disappointing for Williams. As now we exit the pit lane, and hopefully we can do a good outlap here on these fresh mediums and get the undercut on Antonelli and our teammate, who was not very far behind. So now moving on. Oh my days, it's Bottas right on the racing line. What is he doing? That could have been bad. That we could have been out of the race if we didn't react quick enough. I know I was going I wasn't going that quick, but holy crap, like, didn't expect him to be right on the bloody racing line. So that's the incident there. He's had a little half spin. A lot of people have been doing that this weekend. As we do get that undercut on Kimi Antonelli. So does Alex Albon. Well, it's not really an undercut, I suppose, because we're already ahead, but you know what I mean. We get out ahead. So now moving on, already through the laps then, and we see Antonelli made quick work of Albon, and we see more yellows. Is that an Audi, I think? Down towards the final corner. I think it is. As I was just saying before, Antonelli made quick work of Albon, and now he was right on our gearbox. And it is, it's Nico Hulkenberg out. Shocking. He's had some really poor luck this year. He's DNF multiple times. Thankfully, we actually haven't had any DNFs, so I think Gasly's had one. I think it was in Japan, I think. As Antonelli again going for that move. Can't make it work though. So let's have a look quickly at what's happened to Hulkenberg. No smoke or anything. Obviously an issue. Disappointing for Nico. As now we move on to lap 24. And we're going to have a look here. He's had a look around the outside there, Antonelli. Into the final couple of corners then. So he is trying, as we see more yellows back there. I'm not sure what that was for. As we move on to lap 25 again, Antonelli looking up the inside there, but he just for some reason he just can't force the issue. Like, he's just having a half little look. He's not really committing to that move, which is it is a little bit disappointing. I'd really like to have more of a fight, but like the AI's on 108, they should be trying to force their way past. I think I'll try and up the AI, but I don't know. It's very inconsistent, as he also had a look there. Very inconsistent track to track, and I myself am not. I myself actually am pretty inconsistent track to track. He's going to have a look again, as he's quite alongside this time. We leave the room, and again he just can't get that drive out of that corner to hold it around the outside. It's quite disappointing. As now again on lap 30. He's going to send it, and this time he actually does pretty much make the move, and we are side by side, and then he just, I don't know. I mean, I know we have just sent it in there, but I really would like more of a fight. He's in a Mercedes, I'm in a bloody Alpine. Yeah, as now we move on to the final lap then, and are we going to see him have another go? Of course we are. He tries again, and this time, like the last lap, he's going to kind of make it work, and again, we force our way back through. As we're still following. Oh, we kind of have a slide and there's contact and there's damage. There's damage. I think we have underbody damage.
Okay, we think the underbody's incurred some slight damage.
And yeah. I'm not sure what happened there, as we had a little slide. As it's going to be George Russell wins the Singapore Grand Prix by 10 seconds to Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri just behind him. So very good from George, picking up the odd win. I don't think he's won a race for some time. As we cross the line, it's going to be P7 ahead of Kimi Antonelli. We had a solid fight, but it was a little bit disappointing, I'm not going to lie.
The British driver will look up and see the checkered flag first. George Russell takes the checkered flag.
Wow, that race really kept us on our toes with the ever-changing weather conditions. It is so unpredictable when you're in the car, with visibility being limited to know exactly what's going on. So the driver really made some great calls in this situation.
So much to talk about. We will continue to do so. But first, it is time for the podium. And absorbing the acclaim of the crowd, George Russell on the top spot.
And that is the results here for the Singapore Grand Prix. P12 to P7. Charles having another shocking race. P1. He ends up P5. Shocking race for Carlos as well. He's had a mare this weekend. Ocon having a mare as well. Hulkenberg unlucky there with a DNF. Some very disappointing races for a lot of the guys on the grid. It's very, just quite disappointing as we have a look at the championship standings. That lead goes from 27 to 35. George now kind of entering the fight there. You got Kimi a little bit behind as well. And then Lewis all within 100 points. We see Max just ahead of us. And there's quite a gap back to Carlos. So, yeah. And we now have to go over to the constructors. That lead grows from 11 to 26 points. So McLaren hitting form at the right time of the season. As Mercedes close in on Ferrari with that result. Only 6 points behind. And obviously there's us there just behind Red Bull. So we need to bounce back from Red Bull. And I'm pretty sure the next one's Brazil. So love Brazil. Should be a good race. Hopefully no weather, or else we're pretty much screwed. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.